All right. Good late morning. Good early morning, late evening, however you look at it, man. This is Chris with the Age of Reason, and I'm just here for a few moments. I'm going to bed. All right. But here's the thing. You guys have all piqued my brain again, and this hasn't happened in a long time, and for that I thank you very much. Okay. Incredibly. Thank you. All right. We are on the cusp of what looks like a very provocative and grand and pretty terrible looking future ahead. We're on the cusp of something big, that's for sure. So before I go to bed, I just want to get these thoughts out to you. All right, whoever's listening, whenever you get this, great. All right, they're not giving you the information that you really need to know out there. All right, that's one of the ways that the controlled opposition works. Okay, they're gonna fill your head with all kinds of weird shit, UFOs and zombies and everything in between. All right, what that has always done is keeps the subject matter away from what is going on. All right, it's a method to deny subject matter accountability, just like a court would do. Okay, deny subject matter accountability. They're trying to deny subject matter so no one's accountable for it when it happens. All right. What's the subject matter? Well, it is what it always has been. It's Karl Marxist communism. And that's it. A system of complete totalitarian control. All right, now there were some comments tonight that started me thinking, and somebody had mentioned that Italy was in the news for their hospitals and all this, all the people supposedly in the hospitals. All right, here's what you have to think. You need to start thinking like this. All right, if you haven't before. I mean, I'm not. I guess I shouldn't tell you how you should think. Who am I, the fucking general, the fucking sergeant? I'm just a man in the moment, right? But here's what you should think, according to me. Here's how I think is how I should put it. Excuse me. All right. So Italy, in the news, in the media. What is Italy famously known for that people really don't like, even though they really don't know much about it? I don't know much about it either. Fascism. All right. Fascism. Fascism started out of Italy. What was the precept for Benito Mussolini establishing fascism? Threat of war. Okay. So now what do we have? Okay, there's always a threat before there is some form of radical change, and the change is always going to include money. By the way, this is always a money grab because money is your power. So when they change power, they change the currency. All right. So what do we have right now? We are terrified of. Are we terrified of war? Not so much anymore. The war talk has come down a lot in a long time. I mean, yeah, they've kept the Cold War part of it going. Well, we could go to war anytime, but let's think. During this Trump campaign, Trump has pulled all the troops back home, or most of them back home. I should never say all of the troops are back home, but he's pulled them back home. This has been released in the media. All right. They have cut the communications system in California for ham radio operators. This has been released in the media. Okay. And I'm not fearmonger. I'm not a fearmonger. Remember that, because fearmongering is entertainment. We are thought. We are provoking thought. This is thought provocation. All right. So pull the troops back home, or most of the troops back home. Okay. Tear down the communications system, or one aspect of the communication system. It would be very poor of me to say they've torn down an entire communication system, like all communication system. That would not be proper. But released in the media was tearing down of ham radio towers. Okay. Okay. The virus, the so-called virus. There's our fear. Okay. They used to use war to scare the piss out of everybody. They don't need that anymore because they have the television, they have the internet, they have everything. They have everything they need right in their hands. They have your mind and the minds of everyone that you love in their hands. So scare the shit out of them with a virus. Well, how are you going to battle a virus? It lives in you, right? I just gave it to everyone around me. I'm a walking cloud of death now, and I should not be trusted, right? That's how they have us thinking, right? Okay, so these are your things to think about. All right, this is the homework assignment. Okay, you start thinking right now about these things: threat, fear, control, shift. All right. And while you're thinking of these things, I want you to go ahead and do a search query on your favorite search engine, whatever it may be. And I want you to track down quotes of famous communists. Okay. And I want you to particularly pay attention to Gorbachev, his speech at the Politburo, where he had said, "Comrades, do not worry about these policies of glasnost and perestroika. Someday the Americans will know communism and we will have never had to fire a shot." Okay? And go back deeper to Lenin and Stalin and even Karl Marx himself. And I want you to research the fact that Karl Marx did write Abraham Lincoln himself a letter congratulating him after he took office here in the United States. See, we don't think that these things overlapped each other in time because we weren't there. We have to realize that, sometimes when we just read dates on a web page or a book, we can't put a context to it. We can't put a line with it, a timeline with it to see how it all spans out. But no, he wrote Abraham Lincoln a letter congratulating him about his taking office. Karl Marx did that. This is known fact. All right, so try to avoid all the fear mongering and the space aliens and beam weapons and everything else, and try to keep it in your head what this has always been about: a complete control of the masses. Um, Communism. All right. Remember the boot stamping on the face of mankind. That's the future, right? Okay. They've always told us what the future looks like. All right. Does that mean that it has to be this way? I don't know. We're not living in, the Terminator. There is no fate but what we make. Or is there? I don't know. Anyway, like I say, put this stuff in your brain. This is your homework. Report back in the comments after you've done some researching. Let us all know what you found, okay? All right. This is Chris here, Age of Reason. Keep both eyes, all three eyes opened at all times and pay attention. There are people who are panicking and shitting their pants, and they will tell you that you are a jerk and an asshole and everything else that's horrible and ugly sounding if you don't believe the lie. All right. Remain steadfast. Remain strong. This is your time. Your time to figure out what your purpose is. What is our purpose? Should we stay asleep? We should at least pay attention, right? You know, I don't want to die with my eyes closed. I want to be aware of everything that I can for as long as possible. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you all later on. Get some sleep. Chris of the Age of Reason.